Hi. Sorry. Hi, and welcome. So, I am calling these lives the purple chair chat because I am on a purple chair. Um, and I usually have a blanket on me because I get so freezing all the time. So, I just recorded the podcast on the end of the year, and I wanted to come on here and tell you guys a little bit about how my year has been and really reflect a little bit on what I have learned um, with my listeners. So, so it's been a hard year. It's definitely has not been an easy year, even though I've had a lot of amazing things happen to me and for me. As usual, I do live a very blessed life, and I do feel really guilty a lot of the time anytime I am in any way not seeming super happy in life because there's so much goodness around me. Like, how could I not be happy, right? But I think that's a really difficult misconception that, like, if you have good things in your life, you're not allowed to struggle mentally because you have everything physically. And I've always struggled mentally. So, you know, things in life could be great. And I still don't feel great inside, right? And this year was one of those years that it was a bit difficult for me to stay centered, for me to stay feeling good and happy and positive and optimistic. It was one of those years where I kept being found with closed doors. And it was really hard. It's been really hard. Like, it still is really hard, really, sometimes to like keep the faith and keep hope in myself and keep believing in myself and keep believing in my business has been a really difficult struggle this year. So that's been a big focus for me this year is rewriting my beliefs around money and finances, as well as learning a lot more about what it means to be a businesswoman because I always say, like, I love doing therapy. I've always been in the psychology space. I have my master's, I have my degree, I have my coaching certification. Science related, mental health, philosophy, I'm all about it. I know everything. Business, marketing, sales, I know nothing, right? Except all of a sudden now I'm really trying to embody this identity as a powerful businesswoman. So that's been a real struggle for me because I've had to kind of confront anything that was stopping me from embodying that, right? And some of those things were habits, bad habits in my life that I just kept leaning into, but they didn't l- align with this sort of like CEO mindset that I'm trying to embody, right? Because I'm an entrepreneur, and sometimes entrepreneurs they don't have time to socialize as much as other people, or maybe they do have time, right? The thing about being an entrepreneur is that I have all the time in the world, so I have to decide what I do with my time because I don't have a boss. I don't have anybody telling me what to do, and as nice as it sounds to not have a boss, it's actually so it can become so uncomfortable to not have anybody expect anything of you. So I could literally just wake up every day and like not do shit because it's like nobody's going to email me like, why aren't you on today? Right. Other than my clients. But the business takes a lot more than just seeing my clients. So that's been a huge transition for me this year. And I've also been up in the air a lot. I've moved out 5 times this year. I've moved out of 5 different like apartments this year. And I haven't really moved in anywhere until I got to this space, which I'm very happy about. And, obviously very grateful that I can be here. Um, and so that's something I'm really looking forward to in 2024 as well, is finally having like a space for myself, a location, a place where I live, somewhere that I feel good and comfortable. I've learned about myself this year that the nomad life isn't for me. And I have so much respect for the people that do it. I am, I never, maybe I can become one of these people, right? But like, there's people who will have a routine that they stick with wherever they are in the world. Like, wherever they are in the world, they'll wake up and do their ritual. They'll wake up and do their routine and stick to it. So much respect. I haven't become that person yet. So moving around so much really kind of set back my ability to feel stable and kind of build something, right? Because like having a business feels like building a house, like you're building something from scratch. So um, I think that perspective shift has been really important, because I kind of kept thinking that things would just kind of fall into place on their own. And so kind of creating that space for myself, creating that stability, creating that uh, platform for myself has been definitely something I've focused on this year. I'm trying to think what else you guys might want to know about my year. Um, I Yeah, I definitely had a lot of loss this year. Dealing with like a lot of endings. Just like I moved out of New York, where I had lived for 8 years. So that was like a big loss and a big ending. And saying goodbye to everyone there was really tough. And then I moved to London for most of this year, and then I had to leave again. So that was another kind of loss and kind of difficult goodbye. And these are all things that I've sacrificed and let go of because I felt like Spirit was calling me to do something different. And I'm in a place in my life right now where I'm still working to really understand why Spirit had me let go of those things, right? We know that when God is preparing to give you something great, He's going to take away the good. So I'm still waiting to see my great. I had good removed. Now I'm like empty handed, have like very few things that I can attach my identity to in my physical reality. Um, which is probably a good thing. It's like, because it's like you attach your identity to where you are. It's like I was a New Yorker, like I was a New York girl, like that was like my identity. So like having that ripped away from me, it felt like an identity crisis, right? So now I have a lot less things that I can like call like my own and be like, oh, this is mine, like this is who I am, like this is part of my identity. And I don't know why God required that I, release any attachment that I have to a certain identity, at least as far as my identity is determined by my environment or what I have, right? I've had to like let go of so many things that I had, so many things that I cared about, people I cared about, things I cared about, physical things I cared about. I mean, I used to love my old apartment, and like I just had to saw myself in a position where like I had to sell like literally everything, and I got to keep very little. And those losses were really difficult, but that whole time I knew and I had faith that God was taking those things away to give me something better. And I'm just still waiting for better. So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not in I have been better in life, in other times in my life. I have been better. Um, just like feeling wise or emotionally or mentally, just because um I, Yeah, I feel a little bit like I'm like kind of waiting for certain manifestations to come through, and I'm naturally a bit of an impatient person. So I really want it to come as soon as possible. But I also do understand the value of divine timing. And, I wanted to kind of close on this idea that has recently had a impact on my life. And I don't know if you've been able to, relate to the type of year I've had. I don't know if people have had similar experiences of loss and letting go and, frustration with the time lag as far as manifestations coming in. But I've learned that I personally need to stay focused in a way that um, doesn't look at the results. I'm have to be more focused on the work that's getting done and the purpose of the work, more of the end result, right? Because for me, the end result is in like the financial outcome or the number of sales I make has been taking up a lot of my mental space and energy in like a frustrating way because like I'm not seeing like, certain things that I want to be seeing, right? But a message that God has told me yesterday or around this like new moon, today's a new moon in Sagittarius. Let's, celebration for the new moon um is that it's not about the results, it's not about the physical outcome. It's about the work, it's about the contribution, it's about what I really care about, which is, hopefully giving someone some words that can help them, that can help elevate them, that can help heal them, right? That's what, you know, makes my heart light up. So I've been too focused on the physical outcome, maybe as a way to serve my ego and for my ego to be proud of me. And honestly, part of it is like venturing off and doing my own thing. Like it's really not like a beaten path. Like it's maybe wouldn't have been the choices some of my friends would make. So it's become a little bit embarrassing to be like, well, I've taken um, the less traveled road and I'm still not where I want to be yet, right? So it's like that fear of the judgment as well, but it's not really about how other people judge me or my results or where I'm at, right? It's about how I judge me. And if how I judge me is based on my output, I don't feel good about myself. But if how I judge me is based on the fact that I give quality work and that I have a good heart and that I have a message of, you know, of love, beauty, and positivity that I want people to be able to weave into their life because this life is not easy. So we need these little soul power moments to keep us going. And if I judge myself on how much good energy I put into the world, then I would be pretty proud of myself, right? So I think that shift in perspective has been really monumental for me so that I can kind of take a step back and be like, wait a minute, what what do I think makes me feel good? What do I think makes me a successful businesswoman? And I think that perspective shift is going to put me in a better feeling state that will also kind of help me see the physical results more quickly or more easily because I'm in a feeling state that feels good, right? And that's automatically going to lead to better outcomes. Whereas I've spent a lot of time in this more frustrated space of like lack. So that's been a really cool shift for me. That's happened to me like literally yesterday. So I definitely wanted to share that. I'd love for you guys to share like a bit about how your year has been. Oh, and I wanted to come here and talk about the year end reflection ritual that I've created. It's like only 10 pages, I think. And it's just a little workbook that you can do. I mean, you can really easily do it in one sitting. Should take about 20 to 30 minutes, and it's supposed to, right? That might feel like a long time, but it's it's meant to help you kind of really think about and reflect on the year and have a proper ceremonial, ritualistic end to the year, a proper burial for 2023 so that we can call in 2024 with the best energy, the blankest slate, and the most magnetic you've ever been. So go to my link in bio or go to the description. I'll put it in this episode as well once it's up. Um, and you can go there, and this year end ritual can really help you properly process the end of the year. So that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in 2 weeks on Tuesday. I think that might be Christmas, if not the day after. Bye.